So welcome to what should be one of the tightest track battles of the year. We know already how fast Honda's sizzling new Civic Type R is around the Nurburgring, but what about round here at the much tighter little track at Landau, just outside Cardiff? Is the new Type R fast enough to deal with the excellent SEAT Leon Cupra 280 and Renaultsport's brilliant Megane Trophy? Well, let's find out.
Right, the first of the three I'm going to try is the SEAT Cupra. It's got, as the name suggests, 280, not horsepower PS, so what, 276 horsepower. It's not the most visually obviously arresting of the three. In fact, it's kind of like the Q car of the group, to be quite honest. And as a result, I guess you're not really going to expect that much from it, but it's a proper dark horse, the SEAT, without question, because it feels pretty fruity in a straight line, I have to admit. We already know that the chassis is extremely well sorted, got lots of grip, even though it's only front wheel drive like the other two. Right, we started our lap. It does feel pretty tidy, I have to admit. It's got some proper energy down the straight, this thing. Nice brakes, goes through the chicane really well with maybe just a touch of lift off oversteer. As with the other two, I've got everything switched off, so I'm on my own, but I want to be on my own because otherwise the electronics intervene too much. Nice steering, good brakes. Liking the SEAT, I have to admit. That is the end of the lap there. It feels pretty quick, the SEAT. You can really chuck it around and it really responds. It's got good grip, good turning, good brakes. It goes like stink down the straight. That might have set rather a decent time.
The Megane is the least powerful, but also the lightest. And we know from past experience just how good it is on a track, thanks to its fantastic ride and handling balance. But can it beat the SEAT and take it all the way to the Honda as well?
So the Renaultsport Megane really is the car to beat, because it, until very recently, until the Honda took care of it around the Nurburgring, it was the fastest front wheel drive car around the Nurburgring, which has to basically mean it's the fastest front wheel drive car you can buy. Whether that will be the case around here or not, whether it can hold on to its crown against the mighty Honda, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot in its favour. It doesn't have as much power or just as much straight line performance as the Honda, but it does have a lovely, lovely chassis. It weighs a little bit less than the Honda too. And so, I don't know, it could be really, really close between the Renault and the Honda and the SEAT, I think. But let's see, let's try and do a nice neat lap, starting there in the Renault. Yeah, rides the curbs well, hangs on nicely there, although there's just a bit of understeer, didn't want that. Slightly longer geared than the SEAT, is it? It's beeping at me to change up. Slightly rubbery gearbox, don't go for the gearbox hugely. Ooh, bit of brake fade there, not sure I like that. These pads feel like they're slightly past their best, but the Renault does hang on really nicely through that long corner. It almost doesn't matter what the time is, this thing is still an absolute hoot to drive. I love it, but the brakes are not quite there, I'm afraid. Here's the finish line. What's that time? Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. The Renault has just been beaten by the SEAT. Now that, I'm not sure I was expecting.
So finally, the all-new Civic Type R, complete with a 2-litre turbocharged engine this time, and enough raw speed to lap the Nurburgring well inside the magic 8 minutes. But is the latest Type R good enough to beat the deceptively rapid SEAT? Or are we about to witness one of the biggest upsets of the year?
Right then, the main reason why we are here, the Civic Type R, the brand new Civic Type R, which has been 5 years in the making, and they seem to have spent most of those 5 years at the Nurburgring trying to make it go as fast as possible around the Nurburgring, which is kind of to their credit in one sense, because they have actually done it. They've done a 7-minute 50-second lap around the ring in this thing, which is outrageous for a front-wheel drive car. But I don't know, we're sort of wondering whether they might have actually focused just a bit too much on trying to make it go around the ring fast. Anyway, forget all that. It's got a 306 horsepower, by far the most torque of any of the three here. Proper diff, massively good seats. I really love the seats in this car, although the driving position is a bit high. It's just a tiny bit heavier than the Renault, but not much. But it's the poke in a straight line, and the brakes and the diff that should, you would think, make the Honda the quickest here. All right, our start point is right there. I'm short shifting into third because it's got so much flipping torque, and now I'm actually going to short shift into fourth, and it just hangs on beautifully around that corner. That has got proper grip around that bend. How late can I leave the brakes into this chicane? Very late. Alright, monsters those curves really nicely, just a little touch of brakes. Hangs on very nicely indeed through that long, sweeping right hander. I'm not sure about the motor, it's very fast, but it's a bit characterless. Fantastic gearbox, really good gearbox, very, very good brakes. What is the time? What is the time? Bang, there you go. Wow. It's incredible. I mean, it's fastest. Let's get that clear. It is fastest. It's also sort of very clinically effective, the Honda. But you can't argue with the numbers. It is the quickest of the three. There you go.
Wow, this one really was very close. But in the end, the mighty new Type R did just enough to keep the Cupra behind it, while thumping the Renault fair and square. So until the new Focus RS appears next year, the Civic Type R is the undisputed hot hatch king. Click on the video windows to watch our first drive of the Lamborghini Aventador SV, or watch a track battle between the Range Rover Sport SVR and Porsche's Cayenne Turbo. Click on the play icon to watch our latest video, and on our logo to subscribe to our channel.